amplifier stages. The operational amplifier IC that we see is having a complex circuitry inside itself. The circuitry of operational amplifier integrated circuit consists of following stages. Mainly these stages are three. First one is input stage, second one is intermediate stage, and third one is output stage. But in the little detail, if you do, then this can be divided into the 5 stages. First stage can be the input stage, second stage will be a bias stage, and third stage is booster stage, and fourth is output stage, and the fifth stage is protection circuitry. So here I will see it will be better to show this stage at the first point and this stage at the second place, and it will be better. Okay. Now let us see what are the circuits inside these things. The first stage is the input stage, in which stage the differential amplifier is the circuitry behind it. Second stage is the bias stage, which consists of the current mirror in the as a circuitry behind it. So in this figure, this is the some problem is there that this has been drawn as second and this has been drawn as operational amplifier. There are additional stages of amplifiers. So these amplifiers improve the gain of the op-amp. So the additional stages of amplifier circuits, maybe common emitter amplifier stages can be there to improve the gain of the amplifier. And the fourth stage is the output stage that consists of the common emitter amplifier or source follower circuit in the circuitry. In this way, operational amplifiers are created. And for protection of these op-amp from the short circuit and from other problems, there is protection circuitry also. Let us see the internal blocks of operational amplifier and input stage in little detail. The operational amplifier, as we have seen, consists of various stages. The general stages of operational amplifier are first one is bias circuit. Bias circuit and input stage differential amplifiers are clubbed together many times. So the input stage sometimes is discussed first, then we go to the output stage, and sometimes then we go to the output, and sometimes bias circuit is studied first, and sometimes input stage is studied first. After that, we study additional gain amplifiers. And after additional gain amplifiers, there is output amplifier. And so in the intermediate stage consists of the boost. This is also called booster stage. and these two input stages like bias circuit and input stage many times combinedly also called input stage. And the gain amplifier stages are called intermediate stages, and output stages common source amplifier or emitter follower means source follower. Here I'm putting this thing that this current mirror will be for the biasing, and differential amplifier will be for the input stage, and for additional gain the common emitter amplifier circuitry will be used, and for the output stage source follower or common collector circuitry is used. This is the circuitry behind these stages. Okay, so let us consider the first stage, current mirror stage. In this current mirror stage, this is used for biasing of the inputs, and the biasing that we have studied already in our previous electronic devices circuit, that there are many kind of biasing. So out of those biasing, current mirror based biasing is the best biasing. So current mirror is connected to the input stage to provide proper biasing. Okay. This is showing that input amplifier, input stages goes to the differential amplifier. Then the second stage is called the biasing stage. This consists of a current mirror, and third stage the booster. This is common emitter amplifier, and output stage consists of common stage. Okay, so this is the input stage of amplifier. That is how means now we have understood that the input to op-amp goes through the differential amplifier. So therefore the input stage of operational amplifier is the differential amplifier. How this is differential amplifier is created? Differential amplifier consists of two FET. FET is taken to improve because it have larger input impedance and smaller output impedance. Two inputs of op-amp are provided through the gate of the FETs V1 and V2. Let us name the MOSFETs. MOSFETs or FET, the MOSFET have much more higher input impedance, so MOSFETs M1 and M2. Okay, so from this input stage is biased with the help of the bias stage. Okay. And like this output of this stage goes to means output doesn't go means this input is biased with the help of bias stage. So many times the bias stage is considered first, and many times input stage is considered first, but these two are integrated together. They are integrated circuits, therefore both are studied together. And the second stage is bias stage. Let us study bias stage. In the bias stage, we have a current mirror. The current mirror circuit is like this. Let me show you the current mirror circuit. Current mirror circuit consists of two back-to-back transistors with some resistors and the other transistor for a better current mirror. If you have studied current mirror, then you can understand easily that current mirror provides a constant current in its output. That's why it best suits for the biasing of the input. Therefore, in the operational amplifier biasing, these are used. Okay, this is the bias circuit, bias stage of op-amp, and the bias stage output is given to the gain stage, where the gain of the op-amp is improved. So both of the input stage means both of the inputs are connected to this bias stage in this way. And third stage is gain stage, and gain stage is for improving the gain of the amplifier. In the gain stage, there are many. Let me show you the initial. First, there are many operational amplifiers. Sorry, there are many common emitter amplifiers connected to. So every amplifier provides a gain, and if they are cascaded, so in the cascaded state, gain is multiplied. So if gain, let us see with the help of diagram. The input bias stage or the input stage with the help of bias stage provides the output to the gain stage. In the gain stage, the input comes from the biasing with the input. So the gain stage, there are amplifiers. Let us take amplifiers in cascade, like amplifier 1 and amplifier 2, then amplifier 3, then amplifier, and so on up to amplifier n. Let us take amplifier n number of amplifier. First amplifier have gain A1, second have gain A2, third have gain A3, and so on. And nth have gain an, and the overall gain will be equal to A1 into A2 into A3 multiplied by and so on up to an. So if these gains are in dB, then they can be added. So the total gain will be A1 into A2, then A3, and so on up to an. Okay. So the gain stage is consisting of the common emitter amplifiers, and the output of first common emitter amplifier goes to the input of second common emitter amplifier, and this chain continues for the n number of common emitter amplifiers. These all stages are of common emitter circuit. Okay. The last stage is output stage. In the output stage, there is source follower, follower circuits or common collector circuits. Common collector circuit is used for the output stage of operational amplifier. So this circuit is also called emitter follower circuit. Let us see how the source follower or emitter follower circuit is used. This circuit is like this. This provides large input impedance for minimizing minimization of loading effect, and also this is ideally this stage has gain 1. This stage doesn't provide any gain. For gain, there is another stage that is called gain stage, providing very high gain and the input to the input. And this stage is basically for the output, means load, to minimize the loading effect. Okay. So this circuit is the source follower circuit. Okay. So the circuit, if you see the circuit, overall circuit is like this. In this circuit, can see this this part, this is for first input V1, and this is the second input V2 going through the MOSFETs M1 and M2, and this goes to the bias circuit, current mirror circuit through Q3 and Q4 and R1, R2, R3. But this is the current mirror circuit, and this output, this middle stage is gain stage, where there are common emitter amplifiers which are amplifying the input. This is the third stage, you can say, and this is output stage of this operational amplifier. You can see here there are two MOSFETs, this one, and this is 2, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's around 12 NPN transistors, 2 diodes, and 6, 7 resistors. If all the things are made from the transistors, even resistor and diode can also be made from the transistor, because the modern circuit have MOSFETs inside it. No NPN, no diode, no resistor, only MOSFET. So if all the circuit has to be prepared using the MOSFETs, it will require MOSFET devices for resistors, MOSFET devices for diode, and MOSFET devices for everything. So these two MOSFET are already there, and these 12 transistors will be added to the will be converted to the MOSFET, so 12 to 14, and 2 diodes to 16, and this 7 resistors, so this will make 23. So around 23, 25, 1, 2 more devices if required. So around 25, the 25 devices are required to make now. Okay. Op-amp protection, because old devices did not have any protection circuitry, but modern operational amplifier have protection circuitry for overload, short circuit, if there is common phase voltage level in differential input or electrostatic charges. So this is very, very important, because in the specifications in operational amplifier, there are maximum limits of allowed voltages on pins. Maximum currents are limited as well. So voltage and current, they both limit allowed distributed power. So in well-designed operational amplifiers, there are protection circuits. Earlier operational amplifiers didn't have built-in protection circuits, but modern operational amplifiers have. So today, they all are built-in inside, but protection elements, for understanding, I will present how they are connected. So if you connect the additional elements to the op-amp for protection, you have to sacrifice its operation speed, its dynamic range, output signal swing as well. Because of the additional protection circuitry, they change something in the performance. They reduce the performance of operational amplifier. Let us go one by one. First protection circuitry of operational amplifier is to protect from the differential input. So this is the circuit for differential input. These are I am showing these 2 diodes connected to the op-amp outside, but actually we are inside the op-amp IC. Okay. So when protecting op-amp from high voltage inputs, usually there are protecting diodes connected between the input pins. In normal operation, linear mode, when signal input level is up to some millivolts, the resistance of diode is few mega ohms. Practically, diodes have no influence to input signal, but when input voltage is open diode, then input voltage will be limited to few millivolts, p-n junction voltage, cut-in voltage. The limit flowing through the diodes are resistors needed on each pin. Okay, so in this circuit, if you say that because the inputs in op-amp are very low in the microvolts and millivolts, therefore generally these diodes are open because diode cutting voltages means the voltages are less than the cut-in voltages of diode. But when a limit crosses, means if the input is more than the cut-in voltage of op-amp, then the output breaks. Then this becomes short circuit, the output becomes zero and operational amplifier stops working. Second protection is short circuit protection. So many operational amplifiers have built-in protection from the short circuit, but not all. So where protection is needed, there can be resistor connected on op-amp output. Resistor has to be connected with the feedback, then dynamic output resistance stays low. Resistor value should be minimum, allowing to pass the maximum allowed current to the output voltage, to the voltage applied. For instance, if operational amplifier maximum current is 15 milliampere and output voltage is 5 volt, then resistor value is 1690 ohm. Resistor connected to the op-amp output lowers the dynamic range of op-amp. In this way, it is protected from the short circuit. And the protection from the common phase voltage input, this is the circuit. In this case, if voltage exceeds limit, then one of the diode opens. This way voltage of non-inverting input fixes at supply voltage. Input current starts flowing to supply source, and if there is voltage regulator as supply source, then there may be situation when it may start producing higher voltage on load. To protect circuit from this, there should be a Zener diode connected in the supply circuit. So Zener diode is connected like this in the supply circuit. So you can see here a Zener diode is connected to the supply circuit. If circuit is connected to op-amp, then there can be other also, there can be a protection from the output voltages. Okay. So today in this lecture we have studied general stages of op-amp, input stage of op-amp, bias stage of op-amp, booster stage means gain stage of op-amp, output stage of op-amp, and protection circuitry in op-amp. You may not understand protection circuitry this time because we have not covered operational amplifiers in detail right now, but in future you will be able to understand all those things. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you all.